All right. Good morning, or good afternoon. My apologies. We had a couple of technical difficulties there, but we are back. Hopefully, everyone can hear me. You might be able to see me now. Now, Gilberto was going to present some of the speakers today, but we had to jump in and help out here. Had to jump to a meeting, but I have the privilege to be able to sit down with you all. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Christian Rocha. I work for the Forward Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I help put together the Build Smart series, which is more for contractors, and the Service Smart series is for a little bit more professional services and the members that can benefit from a little bit more of a diverse set of topics. So I am happy to have you all here today. We will be resuming today's webinar is going to be around AI, one of three parts. I'm very, very excited about this webinar in particular because AI has been a very hot topic in our chamber. A lot of our members have been asking for a session on an AI, and it's not just about learning the platforms, but is figuring out creative ways to leverage some of the AI tools that are out there to, as the topic of today, help increase the return on investment. So I do want to give the opportunity. I want to make sure that I see the presenters online. I think you can just give me a thumbs up here on the screen for the presenters if you are ready. If you can just raise your hand, just make sure that we're good to go there. Give me 1 second here. I'm having a hard time looking at the 1 second. My apologies.
Hi, Gilberto. Hi, everyone.
Oh, okay, perfect. There you go. Just wanted to make sure you can see me. Gilberto isn't here today. I'm taking his place, so my apologies there. But yes, perfect. Just want to make sure that you have access to share the screen. And if you want to go ahead and share your screen, you should
Mhm.
be good to go, just to ensure that we can move smoothly
But
with the
out of
presentation.
curiosity, because I didn't get this link to this meeting, so and I registered, and in the registration it said like I will get the link before the meeting. So how it works? How to dial in next time? How to get this link?
No worries. Today was a little bit of a different process. We are adjusting that. It's more of a technical difficulty on the platform, but moving
Okay.
forward, you should be able to receive, everyone who's on the line should receive the next link for the next part, which is going to be an interesting one. You should receive it 24 hours before. But I
Oh,
want to go ahead and
okay.
leave the floor to you. Go ahead and have an opportunity to present yourself, tell them a little bit about your business, what they're going to be learning about today. And if you have any questions, need any assistance, I'll be in the background. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you. All right, so hi everyone. My name is Przemysław Matecki. I go by nickname Prez, and I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Assist with AI. And what we do, we are helping small and medium-sized businesses basically to get from just chatting with ChatGPT all the way to agentic AI systems that supplement your business activities. And we are system agnostic, so or AI solution agnostic. So even if you're using some AI solutions, we are more than happy to make it all ecosystem of AI solutions instead of just having individual AI solutions working in your business. And today, together with me is Beata Marek. She's our head of business development. So maybe I'll let Beata to say hi and maybe a few words about herself.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you everyone. Yeah, and like Press mentioned, I work together with Press in Assist with AI. However, we were working together in the past in banking industry for more than 10 years. So it's just a next step working on Assist with AI.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Press.
And just to let you know, I'm based here in Texas, in Plano, actually, and Beata is dialing in from Poland. All right, cool. So this series of presentations will be focusing on helping you decide is AI worth your time. And this first presentation is about seeing ROI. So let me maybe move quickly to. Oh, first of all, do you guys see my screen? Is it like visible, readable?
Yep,
Yes.
we can see.
Okay, cool. All right. All right. So yeah, today we'll just focus on what what are the fundamentals for successful AI implementation? So we took a look at what was happening in 2025 and before with AI projects, and based on that, we'll try to identify some lessons learned and maybe prerequisite for successful AI projects in businesses. Then we'll actually, Beata will speak about one of our case studies. This is a real life case study of project where we automated social media management for a client. And then I'll talk about another case study for roofing business, how we streamline their sales and ordering process. And at the end of this presentation, we'll have time for Q&A. Usually we do this presentation in 20 to 25 minutes, leaving about 5 to 10 minutes maybe for Q&A, but I know that today's session is scheduled for 1 hour, which I believe gives us plenty of time for questions. So feel free to ask any questions. We can talk about presentation or any kind of questions related to AI solutions. So yeah, let's kick off. All right. You probably seen this report from MIT stating that around 90% of AI projects failed in 2025. And some other reports stating that there is a huge problem with scaling these projects and so on. And I would say this is obviously a little bit exaggerated, as usually news are, or these kind of reports are, because some of these projects were actually meant to be like pilot projects or prototypes, part of R&D department work in these big companies. So they were never meant to be properly, or from the beginning, managers knew that the likelihood of implementing them was actually, to real business processes was pretty slim. Nevertheless, they wanted to try this new technology and see which components of it work. But still, some of the projects were actually obviously meant to support businesses, and we focused on them. And even some of these projects failed. So that's why we wanted to identify what were the key reasons why these projects failed. And here we prepared a summary where we presented on the left-hand side, you can see key mistakes that were made. And in the middle column, example case and a major lesson. I'll just briefly go through these key mistakes and speak about a particular business case where this key mistake led to failure of the project. So first, and I think this is the biggest one, bad business assumptions. Many companies started treating AI as almost like a wonder tool that will solve any problems, even like create a business for them. And this is a mistake that Zillow made. So Zillow, this platform for real estate lookups and so on, and promoting real estate sales and renting. At some point, they wanted to get into flipping houses. So they thought that just because they have like a fancy algorithm and AI, they will identify really low-priced houses, and they will buy them and do the whole flip so that they'll make profit on it. But obviously, there is a lot that goes into this process that is not in the digital space. And they bought a lot of these houses in very bad condition, and they realized after some time that this project is only making losses, so they completely shut it down. Then the next one is over optimism, and I think here case of Starbucks. So in Starbucks case, sorry. They implemented AI to support their baristas. They call it a secret barista, and the idea was that this will help optimize how baristas serve Starbucks customers. But they invested a lot into some predictive mechanism when the traffic is more intense, when is the less intense, when baristas can work slower, faster, and so on. But there was from the start, there was no clear information what will be the ROI on this project. So they invested heavily in this, implemented a lot of predictive models, but it turned out that actually after implemented it in some of the cafes, there was no meaningful impact on profit that these coffee shops were making. So I think this project still continues, but overall, this is a failure of over optimism and not specifying proper basically goals, financial goals. Then the third thing is modern tech for a messy process, and this is a big case of Volkswagen. You probably know that Volkswagen has 12 different brands, including Lamborghini, Audi, in Europe also Skoda, and some others. And they had a plan that they will create one master AI operating system and integrate all these different brands, their own systems into this one master system. So it quickly turned out that, okay, while the idea was pushed by top executives and on paper sounded amazing, it turned out that these individual car brands did not have properly optimized processes for their brands, and actually a lot of data that they were exposing was of bad quality. And as you probably heard many times, like if you put garbage in, the garbage goes out, and especially with AI, if you fetch low quality data into it, you'll get just extreme mess. So I think ultimately they shut down this project and first focused on improving individual brand systems, and then they'll implement AI. Next is insufficient data quality and governance. So in McDonald's case, they implemented a chatbot for their recruitment process. As you know, like they have really massive turnover of employees at their restaurants, so they wanted to automate it, but they thought like it's enough to just get this chatbot and to connect it to various databases to help streamline the recruitment process. But they forgot to put the right guardrails in place, and this ended up in a huge controversy that some of the confidential data was exposed to this chatbot, and the chatbot didn't understand that this is a confidential data. So if you ask the right question to this chatbot, you could get from it confidential data about applicants. And the final one is a lack of human supervision. So Salesforce invested heavily in AI agents and automating the whole sales process. For many customers, this was a complete disaster, because once they launched it, when they were testing on just sample cases, it looked good, but then in real life cases, very quickly, this AI agents started seeing trends that the bigger discounts they give to clients, the higher the likelihood of closing the deal. So they started giving away discounts left and right to clients, and obviously the Salesforce customers had to reverse these transactions, and this was a huge reputational problems for these clients. So Salesforce actually took a step back and started introducing human in the loop, especially for business critical processes like selling. Okay, and now after all these examples, you may be thinking, okay, so if the big guys failed on these projects, how can small and medium-sized businesses succeed? And actually, I would say in our cases, because we serve this group of clients, we see the opposite. Actually, 90% of our projects are successful, and only with 10% we struggle. And the reason is, very often with these big businesses, especially in like last few years, they had a huge push from stock markets, from investors to just invest in AI and do big, bold projects, right? You as SMBs do not have this kind of pressure. So you can, instead of just pushing some projects just for the sake of implementing AI, you can think about the business first and then see where AI really makes sense. And companies like ours can help you make this decision. Then the second thing is very often these big players started working on large projects, right? Because obviously small scale projects wouldn't tick the needle, and basically shareholders wanted to hear about big bold projects that are revolutionizing the whole industry, right? In case of small and medium-sized businesses, you can adjust the pace of transition. So you can start with very small project. There is no pressure to go big right away. And if something doesn't work out, you can very quickly adjust it, or maybe just close it completely, without stakeholder pressure or shareholder pressure. The big thing for small and medium-sized businesses, all these big players or have their own R&D departments. They invest a lot in these new technologies. In case of small and medium-sized businesses, we still see that most of the companies are just using ChatGPT. So we believe this is actually a good moment for small and medium-sized businesses to go beyond ChatGPT, right? Just to get the advantage. And with all these lessons learned from big players, I think the successful rate for SMBs will be much higher. So just to recap what I said, like if you're considering AI projects for your business, just avoid these 5 key mistakes, bad business assumptions. To address that, just make sure that you align AI project with your business goals and value. When it comes to over optimism, always try to determine ROI. I know that it's not always easy to do that, but start with the projects where you can actually determine ROI and define some metrics upfront, what will mean a success for given AI project. Then when it comes to modern tech for messy processes, well, try to implement AI first to the processes that you have well defined, or if you don't have like any business processes well defined, then first take the step to update SOPs or create them, and only then think about applying AI to them. Then insufficient data quality and governance, well, this is pretty self-explanatory. So just make sure that you don't use too much sticky notes. Everything that you note, it's better if it's in a digital form, right? And think about structuring your data before connecting to AI. And the lack of human supervision, especially for business critical processes, just make sure that nothing goes to your clients without human taking a look at it. All AI models hallucinate, so yeah, it's always better to stay safe. All right, so let me close. Okay, let me finish this session at this point. And do you have questions to this part of the presentation? Okay.
Press, I have a comment. So
yes.
Press mentioned that SMBs are using quote unquote just ChatGPT, but actually in the second session, because this is a series, there will be 3 sessions. So in the second session, we are actually going to show some options in quote unquote just ChatGPT, which are more than just chatting, but they are available in there in ChatGPT, which will make your life easier. And well, it's just to make your AI usage a bit more fancy, but actually you don't need to have like a dedicated fancy tools, right, to do
yeah,
that.
and
It just
actually
enabled some options.
Yeah, and for these functionalities, you don't even need our help. So actually, this
Exactly.
second session, like this is all you need to become, let's say, pro in ChatGPT, and
Exactly.
functionalities
Like
beyond
half
just
an
chat.
hour. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So thank you for this teaser, Beata, for the second session. And
I like the second session. That's why.
yeah.
You know, I'm the biggest fan.
Right. Okay. So yeah, over to you, Beata.
Yep. Cool. So yeah, Press was talking a little bit about where AI didn't work and what to watch out for, and like just how to be careful with AI and this whole human in the loop concept, which again you will hear a lot while talking about AI. But now I'm actually going to walk you through a first case study, a successful case study. So finally some successes. There will be two case studies we'll cover today. Okay, so the first case study. So I want to share with you, this is from one of our projects. And this is about how AI runs social media without our client losing control. So this whole human in the loop concept is here. So let's start with the problem. And honestly, of course, this is something we hear from almost every business owner we talk to. So social media is important. We all know that, but it's time consuming, right? So you need to be consistent. You need to post regularly, but in reality, content creation is irregular, right? And often it just gets forgotten when things get busy. And here is another challenge. Marketing teams are small, or like in case of our clients, they are non-existent, right? So that's the problem we are solving. The solution we built combines two AI-driven capabilities that work together to publish social media automatically. So I want to walk you through both of those capabilities because they solve different problems. So the first element, this is planned content that gets handled automatically, right? So AI monitors two things constantly. So in, for example, news relevant for our client, right? So for example, we did that for a CPA firm. And so news from tax world, right? They were constantly monitored by AI. And the second topic, this is holidays. So special days, things like New Year wishes to company clients or tax day, right? Because again, it's giving the CPA firm as an example. So based on what AI finds, it generates ready to post content. And this is important. It creates actual posts that are ready to go. So then the client reviews and approves those posts. Nothing goes without approval, right? So client stays in control. So this whole human in the loop concept. But once approved, those posts are published automatically according to the schedule. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Thanks, Press. So now let me show you the second element, which is Press. I think you're
Okay.
making some changes to the presentation.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
now it's back to normal. Okay, thank you. So okay, so this is the second element, right? So imagine you are at the conference, right? Or at the customer meeting or at the company event. Something worth sharing is happening right now. So, but by the time you go back to your desk, you open your laptop, you draft a post, find the photo, you publish it. Well, the moment has passed, the energy is gone, right? So this is the problem it solves. And here is how it works. So our client takes a photo right there at the event, sends it to an AI chatbot with just a short note. So that could be Chamber of Commerce meeting, great talk with business community, or AI training with assist with AI, continuous development. Right? The AI then generates three things. That's a social media post with the correct tone for the client's branding and the right hashtags, and gives one-click approval option. And let's say client likes the post that was generated by AI. Taps approve, and the post is published automatically while the client is still at the event. So why does this matter, especially for small businesses? So the client gets consistent social media presence without daily content writing, right? So full control stays with the client. Nothing is ever posted without approval, right? And the result, well, this saves hours every month, right? There is no need to hire a marketing agency just to maintain pretty basic social media presence, right? So to put real numbers on it, maybe. So basic social media management, typical cost starts with, let's say, 500 per month. With AI, the functionality costs 200 per month. So instead of paying for a marketing service, AI basically handles the time consuming part, right? So monitoring content, drafting posts, formatting, scheduling. So while the business owner stays in control, why the business owner can still review before those posts are out. And that's the ROI. Okay, so I think we can go to the second case. So back to you, Press.
Unless there are some questions to this
Okay.
case.
I forgot we have 1 hour.
Yes. All right. If no questions, then yeah, let's have a look at the second case study. So our client was a roofing company, 12 people based here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And the problem that they were facing was that during, let's say, low and medium season for roofing repairs, these 12 people was completely enough. Some of them, most of them, was working on the job sites, while few of employees were helping with office management, dealing with clients, and so on. Only 2 people were just permanently, let's say, in the office, handling the clients' queries and so on, answering calls. But during the hail season, obviously the number of queries from clients suddenly jumped. And usually, like if the hail was over the weekend, and even for next 2-3 days, they had like a complete avalanche of incoming calls, emails. They had the website with the web form, so a lot to handle by just 2 people. Obviously, like the rest of the crew was already working on the job site, so they had this huge constraint. They couldn't hire more people because obviously, like this just for 1-2 weeks maybe, and in some random moments of the year when the hail comes. So they asked us for help. Luckily, they already had a HubSpot implemented as their CRM. But having HubSpot is, I would say, just half of the success, because there are three main problems with HubSpot. One is that HubSpot is fairly limited, still fairly limited when it comes to what integrations it can offer, what AI solutions it can offer, and so on. The other thing is that HubSpot can get expensive. So, for example, if you want AI, let's say ChatGPT, to process transcription from the phone call, it will be 3 times cheaper than if you ask HubSpot's AI to do the same work, or actually configure HubSpot's AI to do that. And the third problem is, HubSpot is not the best when it comes to knowledge management. So it's better if you have your own knowledge base properly configured, and then some kind of connection, ideally AI supported connection between this knowledge base and HubSpot, basically to populate correct data in the HubSpot and to process the data before it gets to HubSpot, even in terms of like the quality of data, completeness of data, and so on and so forth. So going back to our case, they, as I mentioned, like they were answering calls, emails, and forms. Very often, when a client comes, calls, they had to like gather all the information and then start thinking about the quote they could give to the client, right? Which is obviously like labor intense. So we implemented AI that was pulling basically call transcripts, the emails that they are getting, this information from their website, from the web form submissions, and then processing them, pre-qualifying them. So when they are loaded into HubSpot, the preliminary analysis is already done. And then in the HubSpot, they were categorized then further. We use some sort of, some part of HubSpot functionalities to basically like prepare the draft of the emails. And again, because we connected this database with previous cases, with quotes from previous cases, we also implemented AI that was suggesting in this email that was then sent to the client what should be the approximate quote for this kind of job, right? So basically AI was deciding what what should be the appropriate pricing. But again, none of these messages went to the clients without human supervision. So our AI was doing like receiving information from the client, digesting it, loading to HubSpot, then getting information from knowledge base, all these previous invoices, or checking also insurance information. Very often the clients do not fully understand what their insurance is covering. So we also had this loaded into this knowledge database. And based on all this information, send a ready proposal to the client. And the job on this two people's, the job for these two people that were operating in the office was always just to review the email, if it makes sense, right? If the quote makes on high level sense. So this dramatically speed up their operations. And then when client agreed to given a contract, let's say, then this was also recorded. Our system was also obviously listening to the responses of the potential client. If the deal was agreed, this information get again loaded to HubSpot, and another process kicked off that allocated resources to given jobs, right? So optimizing the routes between job sites, estimating how lengthy will be the job, and so on and so forth. So it was also project management tool to some extension, right? Ultimate result of this whole automation was 40% higher conversions, 70% time savings, and the project itself paid back in 6 months. So actually, after 2 rounds of these hails. Within 12 months, because usually we have like 2-3 hails during the year, right, here in Texas. So after 12 months, actually this whole automation generated 3 times ROI. Okay, so that's all for this use case, and we have full 23 minutes for questions and answers. So feel free to ask about anything AI related.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go, Jose.
When I think about how we use AI currently at my company, we talk a lot about building agents, or I guess I'm assuming building these prompts. What part of this case study is this kind of what it is? Like that's an agent you're building?
No, in this case, it's not. This was more like AI assisted, and the reason why we are not building agents is just, I mean, in these cases, just because AI agents who are, because when we are talking about AI agents, we mean like automations that actually take decisions, decide what tools to select, what actions to take, and this is, I would say, the ultimate way of using AI as of now. And for small and medium-sized businesses, usually before you go from chatting with ChatGPT all the way to AI agents, you need to take appropriate steps, like define your data policies, get your data in shape. First, start with this AI-assisted processes, and what we described to you here is this AI-assisted processes, right? Where AI just helps to generate the content, suggest what actions should be taken, but not driving decisions autonomously. And I know that you're working in a slightly larger company. So yes, larger company are already ahead of what SMBs usually have.
So this would be like step one, like kind of exploring where you can efficiently use it right now.
Exactly, and this also like aligns to what I explained before, that for small and medium-sized businesses, we also always recommend to start with projects that have a clear ROI. In this case, it was pretty easy to estimate like what will be the success, what are the cost of this project, what will be the return on this project, and so on. With agentic AI, this is way better for. Okay, when you have like very defined processes where only like from time to time human supervision is required. When you have already data in place, guardrails in place, data control. So, as I said, like this is the ultimate goal, right? But first, never start with AI agents. Start with smaller things, easy to estimate, lower budget, just to try it out, just to see if people want to work with AI, because AI obviously works best if people help to train it over time. And only like once you do that, only then start thinking about AI agents. All right, I know this was a long answer. Sorry for that, but I just love to talk about AI.
No, that was good. Thank you.
Press, do you think for Jose the third session could be interesting, because this is where we touch this whole agentic topic, right?
Yes, yes.
Just a sneak peek for Jose. That's actually we
I
talk
I
about
like I like the sales pitch already.
Well.
Yeah, so yeah, the sessions will be happening like week after week. So you know, you can skip the next one if you feel like you're pretty strong in you know, ChatGPT, its functionalities, and tools like Notebook LM and maybe some other, like, let's say, commonly used platforms. Then you can skip it and just join the third session in 2 weeks. Cool. All right. And you can find the information about the event also on the Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber of Commerce website. So just look there. Okay, guys, any other questions? We still have 19 minutes, so.
I did have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I can actually speak to this. I saw this firsthand
Mm-hmm.
with you guys working closely with Gilberto, with when it comes to the social media, and just correct me on how you would describe it. I would say social media assistant agent, if that's correct. But one of the questions that I had, which I'm curious about, is if when you talk about creating content for social media, typically, I think one of the things that takes a little bit more time are the graphics portions of it. I know that there's ways to integrate certain AI into things like Canva or platforms that will allow you to create some of this content.
Yep.
What does that look like? I guess in from the user experience of having your own AI agent, does it, you know, with the right connections, create the graphics for you as well? Does it align with the branding? You know, many businesses have their, you know, their own branding kit, their guidelines, their colors, size of or types of fonts. What would that look like, out of curiosity?
Yeah, so when it comes to like a visual handling of yeah, prompts, okay, or maybe let me put it this way. They are still making mistakes. In Gilberto's case, we are using Nano Banana from Gemini. And we think, at least from our experience so far, Nano Banana is the best on the market right now. And then it just comes down to how you write the prompt. But all models hallucinate, right? So we can tell this Gemini, right, which runs Nano Banana. We can tell about exact fonts and colors and so on. But I would say, when it comes to like text answers from large language models, I would say they are usually around 90 to 93, 4, 5% reliable. When it comes to like visual prompts, I would say it drops to maybe 70%. So no matter how good we structure the prompt for this model, it's just the model's limitation itself that in if assuming this 70% success rate, in 30% of cases it will just mess up things, right? So that's why when you want to like super detailed graphic, I mean, if you want to like really strongly stick to some visuals in the images, there are some other solutions we could apply. So maybe make it the workflow more complex. So just first generate the basic image and then like enforce embedding this fixed image on pre-prepared image. But with with Gilberto's case, we didn't go that far, just because Gilberto actually like to have this real world pictures better than pre-created visuals, right? So
Present,
yeah.
maybe just to add, so social media presence, the most important, I mean, there are many important aspects, but one of the very important aspects, it's about being genuine. So if you have too many AI generated photos, typically, but that depends on the type of business, but typically that's not that good unless you're talking about like adding on a real photo, just some small branding in the corner. That's of course something different, but typically it's just works much better if you have your real pictures from the side of, I don't know, some machines that you have or the meeting that you went. So that works much better, even if the photo is not perfect. It works just so much better than something which is AI generated. So typically what we do with our clients is for those, let's say, special days, so holidays, tax days, we do have AI generated photos, right? But for everything else, clients try to come up with something real, right? And it works much better. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was primarily curious, and that was a great response. And my curiosity is because I think when you think about some of the businesses, for example, like a turf company, right, that installs a very visual product that has to be displayed, in many cases through social media. I can see the use case where a lot of times, they may just want to upload examples of the work, but then maybe around seasonal times, maybe, peak time around the summer, they might want a specific type of post, which is almost like a graphic style flyer, right? That says 20% off and it kind of has all the branding colors to it. I was just curious out of that because I think from myself and even when designing, typically that creativity is what takes a little bit more time and it's challenging. And I'm sure a lot of business owners can relate to that, where it's like I have a great promotion, but how do I put it into a visual that can really be that can deliver on that message and the value that the company provides?
Maybe one more thing that the workaround that we are applying when it comes to, because it sometimes happens like even with this let's say holiday posts where you don't care that much about if it's 100% accurate. But for this kind of scenario, we have this button to basically regenerate posts. So assuming this success rate of 70%, like the likelihood that if you just generate once and regenerate and maybe regenerate one more, one of these three times probably will be a good post. So this is how we are approaching it. And to answer, because you also asked about Canva and I don't know, Gamma probably, because Gamma is good for presentation. So they integrate nicely with Claude, but they are more for, again, like generating presentations, things like that. I think still when you just want to create a picture based on your prompt and like individual picture, I think still Nano Banana is better than just using Claude connected to, let's say, Canva or Gamma.
So if I can ask a question back on the social media, I think that's a big topic. My name's Charla, in case you're looking. When you talked about the AI monitoring industry news, what tool are you using that's monitoring? And is it monitoring like 24/7 for you, or do you have to go out and see if you can find this data? Or so how is that kind of the manual process of that?
So actually, there are three. Let me think. If we have four approaches that we are using. Okay, one is, for example, when it comes to. Okay, we had a client who was a CPA, accounting practice. I mean, we still have this client, and the lady wanted to have whenever there is a tax news that will impact her clients, we should produce some kind of social media post based on this news, right? So we asked her to give us maybe some links to taxes websites that publish such news, and our mechanism basically listens to RSS feed, and whenever new article is published and it speaks about, let's say, new tax regulation, then our AI just basically pulls this information and prepare the post. As simple as that. Then the second approach is there is this platform called Manus. You may have heard about this. This is currently owned by Facebook. It's still pretty experimental, but what it's doing is it can use AI to do a web crawl. So you don't have to then specify from which websites you want to pull the information. You just create like AI agent that goes through various websites and almost like someone who did just Google searching, trying different word combinations and looking for the latest news on this topic. But this is still pretty experimental, and well, we spent already like a significant amount of money on tokens to run it, because obviously it's not for free and it quickly get expensive. But results were like okay, good as an experiment, but not super reliable for business process. So this brings me to third and fourth method. And actually, this is what you can set up right away by yourself. So if you're a Perplexity user, Perplexity has this functionality of scheduling tasks. So it's not perfect just because it can mix up what is historical news versus what is the latest. It's very hard to force Perplexity to only focus on the latest news, right? So that's again okay. I would say the first approach that I described to you is the most reliable. Just connect to some website that are publishing news and then process this news. That's the cleanest way, right? Manus, experimental. Perplexity, it can mix up with all the information. And the third, it depends if you just want to listen to what's the buzz topic, or do you want to really look for news for given industry. If you're just looking for like trends, buzzwords, what is the hottest topic, then I think Grok is the best, just because Perplexity cannot pull information from Twitter, and Grok obviously just because it's from the same company, from Elon Musk, right? It has access to Twitter. So, and again, you can do the same approach. Just schedule a task that will just tell it to monitor for trends in particular industry or for particular, I don't know, niche, and yeah, and you can set it up so it brings you report from time to time on what's the hottest in latest tweets. All right, so I hope this answers your question.
That was great. It was wonderful. Thank you.
All right.
Perez, I have one more. I don't know if it's a question, but you mentioned a lot of different platforms that you're using. Do you happen to have or can point me or us to like a cheat sheet of like, hey, here's where this platform probably works best in this use cases? I know I've seen a few, but I think the ones you mentioned are kind of the ones that I've heard about the most. So I don't know if you have something like that.
We are actually designing something like that, but the thing is that we have a mixed feelings about this kind of cheat sheets because first of all, as you said, like you can find them online like easily. That's one thing. The other thing, like if you create the right prompt, you can just ask any LLM and it will probably give you some good or goodish answers. And the third thing is that it's just changing so rapidly that I'll tell you now that Manus is in experimental phase, and like in 2 weeks probably there'll be open Claw version, I don't know, 3.x or Perplexity computer, which will be doing it much better than Manus is doing, or maybe Manus will improve. So, I mean, okay, I could do that, sure. I could send it. Okay, I mean, we'll probably think about like how to do it, because obviously like we are masters in AI. I mean, not to brag, but you know what I mean. So we can come up with some kind of systems that will be like periodically generating us this kind of cheat sheets and sending to you. So maybe this is actually a good idea for some kind of newsletter of the latest, hottest, most useful, not the hottest, but most useful for businesses tools.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. I think I hear you're right. There's so many changes and so many updates, and it's kind of hard to keep track of like what's the best one. But I know it's an ever-changing landscape.
Exactly. Yeah, but this is why it's so exciting. All right, so guys, any other questions? We still have 6 minutes. So let me maybe now ask you guys, what kind of AI tools you're using? Maybe something that I haven't mentioned or Beata hasn't mentioned, or what's your, I don't know, if any one of you, for example, is using already some kind of agentic solutions, or, and you know, there is no shame in saying like I just use ChatGPT. It's completely fine. Still, it's just 98% of business owners with whom we talk just stick to talking with ChatGPT. Yeah. So maybe someone could tell me about their experience with AI so far.
I mean, I've been using Copilot just because of the functionality with Microsoft. I still use it more in a research capacity, but I have started uploading more client contracts or customer contracts, and it'll just summarize, exactly what I need to know in, 5 seconds versus a 30-minute project of search and find. So I think that's like, I mean, I'm still scratching the surface, but I think the more I learn about these agents, I think that's where it's really a big game changer that I see.
Yeah, it is. But I can tell you that setting up agents correctly. Oh, because I mentioned like a company needs to go through phases of like implementing AI, and probably it's not a good idea to start with AI agents. But also with these phases also comes more and more complexity. Like AI agents, I mean, it's easy to go to GitHub and install OpenClaw, for example, on your PC. But then if you give it too much access, it will make a lot of harm on your PC. So, and especially if you're thinking about the more advanced use cases where you connected multiple AI agents to themselves and make them talk to each other, then complexity grows exponentially. So it's and obviously with this complexity comes also the cost. So that's why still in many cases for medium-sized companies, yes, it makes sense because they have budget for specialists who can help to steer this development. For small businesses, at least as of now, I don't know. Probably if small business want to explore agentic AI, tools like Manus in experimental mode would be safe approach, or fairly safe. I mean, unless you give it too much of your confidential information, then. All right. Anyone else maybe would like to share what's their experience with AI so far? Okay, if not, then we can close the call probably, and I hope to see you all next week, Thursday at the same time.
Thank you so much for joining and all of the great questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one, everyone. See you all in the next session.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye, everyone.